Welcome back. ICE raids are sensitive operations, meaning the time, place, and the targets are executed without public knowledge. Giving advance notice would give criminals the opportunity to evade arrest, which is something that traitors do. Traitors tip off criminals, not the good guys. But that's exactly what a CBS radio station is doing right now in San Jose.
The chances in just a moment. First, though, I'm Brett Burkhardt, and here's what's happening. San Jose Mayor Matt Mahan and Councilmember Peter Ortiz confirmed today that U.S. Immigration and Customs Enforcement agents are currently carrying out an operation on the east side of town. The Santa Clara County Rapid Response Network, which is a community defense projecting system for immigrant communities against deportation threats. It first reported the activity on its platforms.
That was the mayor of San Jose and City Councilman Peter Ortiz trying to sabotage President Trump's immigration agenda in California. And these actions could end up getting American citizens killed. So who is Councilman Peter Ortiz, and why would he do something like that? Well, Peter Ortiz was in a gang starting at the age of 12. He's open about that, but he says he turned his life around, became an activist, and now he's a city councilman. But why would Peter Ortiz expose an ongoing ICE raid knowing that criminals are going to be arrested? Who exactly is Peter representing? Take a listen to the rest of that broadcast.
In a statement to KCBS Radio, Mayor Mahan says the city's police department does not assist with or participate in these operations in any way. The county's response network says agents in San Jose were in unmarked vehicles, including a black Dodge Durango, a gray Nissan Maxima, and white Nissan truck. ICE agents were also reported outside a residence on South White and Tully roads. For you.
That is just unbelievable, but not shocking. KCBS is owned by a guy named George Soros. I'm sure you've heard that name. Soros took over control of 220 Odyssey radio stations across the country after Joe Biden's FCC fast-tracked the sale just before he left office. And Soros's radio stations literally announced to criminal illegals where ICE agents were, the make and model and color of their vehicles, which, by the way, is a crime. Joining me now for a reaction is President Trump's choice to run the Voice for America, Kari Lake. Kari, unbelievable. Yeah.
You know what? I don't get stunned and shocked very often, but what I just heard, what you just played, has left me absolutely stunned. That is the most irresponsible. It should be criminal. And I'm not surprised these are the stations. I think there's 250 that George Soros has purchased. That is unbelievable. They are putting the lives of our ICE officers, of our law enforcement, they're putting them at risk right now. And I can't believe they're putting the description of the cars. This is the most, not just irresponsible, I believe that it is potentially criminal. And we need to get all hands on deck to stop this kind of behavior at the hands of George Soros, a man who's done so much damage to this country and, frankly, this world, and continues, obviously, to do that kind of damage.
Yeah, again, this city councilman's name is Peter Ortiz, city of San Jose, California. You work for the administration now, and that's why we bring this up, because now, whether deliberately or not, the president will become aware of this. And I don't know what the legal recourse is, but Kari, it's stunning that people would work against the administration just 9 days in and do something like that.
That they would work against the American people. This is
right.
This is against the American people. And I should clarify, I'm not officially yet in the administration, as you know.
Right.
It's taken a while to get people in, and there's some processes to go through and some hoops to go through. But I hope to be in soon. And as the president has asked me to lead Voice of America, which is the media that is run by the federal government that goes to an international audience. And I'll tell you what, this isn't just putting the people who are doing these raids at risk. It's putting the American people at risk. We are trying to get people who are dangerous off our streets, people who are here illegally and have committed crimes. And these brave law enforcement with ICE and with other law enforcement agencies are putting everything on the line to get them off the streets. And because this is going to make us safer when these people are off the streets. And
Absolutely.
For this outlet and that vice mayor or whatever his position was to work against America that way, it's the most un-American thing I've ever seen, an irresponsible thing I've ever seen. I'm sure it will be getting response, hopefully from the administration ASAP and from Tom Homan, and that has to be stopped immediately. And hopefully the FCC commissioner will take a look at that. This is a radio station that obviously has a license to broadcast, and they're broadcasting information that's putting the American people at risk and our brave men and women in law enforcement.
Kari, I'm so glad you feel the exact same way about this as I did when we went through this today. You were also on the short list to be press secretary. Who knows? That could happen in the future. Caroline Leavitt had her first press briefing yesterday.
I didn't know I was.
You were on my short
News
list.
to me.
I had you on my short list. Yes.
You had okay.
Yes. I had myself on that list too, by the way. But no, that didn't happen.
Great.
Caroline Leavitt had her first briefing yesterday. Take a look at this exchange.
Thanks, Caroline. A question that we've asked your predecessors of both parties in this job. When you're up here in this briefing room speaking to the American public, do you view yourself and your role as speaking on, advocating on
I commit to telling the truth from this podium every single day. We know for a fact there have been lies that have been pushed by many legacy media outlets in this country about this president, about his family, and we will not accept that.
So after 4 years of Jen Psaki and Karine Jean-Pierre turning gaslighting into high art, Caroline Leavitt gets a question about lying from the briefing room.
Unbelievable. I mean, you know, it would be great to compare and contrast the questions they asked during the last administration compared to the questions and the behavior and snarkiness is the wrong word, just an absolute rudeness that they exhibit toward President Trump and his staff on the first term and again on this term. But the difference between the first term and this term is the American people have woken up and they're recognizing it. And the mainstream media is losing all credibility. I know Caroline Leavitt. I consider her a friend. She is incredible. I'm so glad that she's representing the president and the White House and the American people with the truth. She's an exceptional communicator. She's going to be great. She knows how to handle situations. She's not afraid when the media comes after her. I don't even think it causes her heart rate to go up. She's just absolutely a pro, and she gives me great hope for her generation. She's the youngest press secretary in the history of this country, and I think she's going to do an incredible job for 4 years or more. Maybe she'll move on to the next administration as well. She's got a bright future.
Maybe the Vance Lake administration in 2028. Who knows? Who knows, Kari? It is great to see you. Thanks so much for being with us tonight. We'll do it again soon. Kari Lake.
Thank you, Rob.